Ferrari fans. Ferrari F1 fans, aka the Tifosi, are not just fans. In fact, they are a religious cult dressed in red, with an undying faith that would put religious zealots to shame. Whether you're in Milan, Melbourne, or Montreal, if you are in red and shouting "Forza Ferrari," you're instantly part of a worldwide brotherhood, or a therapy group, depending on how the last race went. Half of Ferrari's fans' lives went by telling the world that this will be their year, even if it's been this year since 2007. The rest of their lives went by crying in the corner after Ferrari lost another championship due to some so-called strategy mistake. Ferrari's fan base is so big that it's essentially a global army. If Ferrari ever wanted to start a country, they would just call it Scuderia, and this country would be known for its die-hard, patriotic fans, loyal to Ferrari, no matter how many pit stop disasters they keep pulling. Instead of leaving Ferrari world, these patriotic fans will lament the drivers, weep bitterly on Twitter, and eventually turn the pain into memes. Because behind every F1 meme is a Ferrari fan. Among them, there are Charles Leclerc girls who love to defend him like he's their Roman emperor, even if he crashes out by himself. And right next to them are the angry Carlos Sainz stans, who treat him like the underrated king who deserves better and always remain mad about that one time Ferrari gave him Leclerc's strategy by accident. Sprinkle in the American Ferrari fans who are mostly new to the madness thanks to Drive to Survive, and now you have got people in Dallas yelling, "Forza Charles!" without fully understanding why he is crying under his helmet. In short, being a Ferrari fan is not for the faint-hearted. You need thick skin, emotional stamina, and a flexible relationship with reality. You need the ability to show anger, love, betrayal, and rebirth, all within a single race weekend. When Ferrari wins, you have to pretend like it is a Roman triumph, and when it loses, you have to demand the resignation of every team member on Twitter. Red Bull fans. Red Bull fans could be explained in 3 words: loud, dominant, and critical. You can spot them instantly, radiating an air of superiority, grinning at every Max Verstappen highlight, and passionately bashing the FIA, all while sipping a €9 energy drink. You will find them at the Miami or Austin Grand Prix, wearing $400 team jackets in 90-degree heat, yelling, "Let's go, Max!" like it's the Super Bowl. After every game, you will see them on X talking endlessly about Max Verstappen's achievements. Whenever Max smiles, laughs, or does any extraordinary driving stunt, his fans would practically flood the entire X timeline. They own practically every social media conversation and create modern F1 memes to tell the world about their superiority. That is the reason they find it difficult to survive when Max fails to achieve anything in a championship. Then you would find them in a corner, weeping just like Ferrari fans. These fans also believe that while other teams are playing chess, their team is playing 4D strategy while doing backflips off a mountain. While Mercedes fans quote data and Ferrari fans quote Shakespeare, Red Bull fans simply say, "We are faster. Cope." They're also constantly on edge with the FIA, convinced the stewards have a secret anti-Red Bull agenda. During every F1 game, they would keep discussing among themselves how this 5-second penalty is political and how other teams are jealous of their drivers. As far as I have researched them, I believe Red Bull fans are a bit annoying too. Like, they will roar when any of their drivers win the championship as if they were personally driving the car. They would see other fans, especially Ferrari fans, with contempt and believe that only their cars and drivers have wings. They will continue to talk about the advanced technology of their cars and the charming personalities of their drivers. Not only this, one glance at the grid and they already know exactly when, where, and how Ferrari is going to screw things up. It goes without saying, the rest of the F1 fanbase finds them incredibly annoying. But Red Bull fans don't care. They've got the trophies, they've got Max, and most importantly, they've got swagger. McLaren fans. McLaren fans could be explained in 3 words: optimistic, lighthearted, and nerds. If you want to see the real example of F1 nerds, you have to see the McLaren fans. It is because supporting them is like rooting for the class nerd who used to be cool, had a major glow down, then started slowly working their way back with sheer optimism, good hair, and Lando Norris's meme game. These nerds appreciate quiet talent, savage overtakes, and drivers who look like they just got out of a physics exam. They speak in lap deltas, worship tire management, and quietly whisper, "He's him," whenever Oscar finishes ahead of Lando. If we talk about their optimism, they chant, "We are almost here," every season, when they most of the time never reach there. They start every season with orange vibes and an optimistic mindset. The car looks sleek, the marketing is fire, and the social media team is posting cinematic B-roll like it's a Christopher Nolan film. Every loyal fan of McLaren around the world was glued to the screen and watched it with a delusional mindset. And then, this would happen. Position 14 in Bahrain, position 15 in Saudi Arabia, and with any stroke of luck, position 10 in Miami. But the thing is, McLaren fans never give up. They will stare at a telemetry chart like it's their horoscope and somehow find a reason to believe this is the year they beat Ferrari. Maybe they hope that McLaren will start reviving its golden era soon. Now, let's talk about the types of McLaren fans. Well, there are three types: loud Gen Z fans, racing historians, and Lando girlies. McLaren arguably has the youngest fan base in F1, packed with Gen Zers, many still in high school, watching every race with unmatched excitement and memes at the ready. But when McLaren messes up, they don't cry, they just laugh, right along with the Red Bull and Ferrari fans, without any grudges and drama. After them, there are racing historians who have signed lifetime subscriptions to being McLaren fans since World War II. They carry the weight of history like a heavy orange cross. They remember the Senna Prost days, the Mika Hakkinen championships, and the golden Lewis Hamilton rookie era. These historians have a tragic aura because they are still in shock with Honda engines exploding like microwave popcorn, and Alonso yelling, "GP2 engine!" like it was a war cry. But somehow, these fans stayed. Probably because they already bought the merch, and orange doesn't go with anything else. And at last, there are Lando fans. These girls are fully convinced he deserves a world title and a hug. They still haven't recovered from Sochi 2021 and treat Lando like a soggy puppy in an orange race suit. They root for his different memes, especially of his and Zach Brown's funny dynamics. These sorts of memes are proof that the heart of the McLaren team is full of love and fun. Aston Martin. If you ask Aston Martin fans why they support this team, they will give you one universal answer: because Alonso's a GOAT and Stroll is an idiot who manages to outdo his stupidity in every race. Lance Stroll and Fernando Alonso are the two main reasons people are rooting for Aston Martin. But note here, I will not forget the hardcore Eddie Jordan fans, who have been silently rooting for this team for decades. These Jordan fans are the real ones, the Formula One grandfathers in meme form. These are the people who were fans of the team long before it got its fancy green paint job, Bond-inspired branding, and a billionaire CEO. Back when it was beer logos, yellow cars, and Irish chaos. Jordan fans remember the screaming yellow liveries, Heinz Harald Frentzen nearly winning a championship in 1999, Damon Hill's win in the wet at Spa in 1998, the chaos, the underdog wins, and the absolute lack of chill. If Formula One had a pub, Jordan GP fans would be the guys in the corner telling the best war stories. They're the true fans of Aston Martin, who are silently supporting this team way before your favorite drivers were born. But these fans do have a lot of complaints when it comes to today's Aston Martin, the team that rebranded from Racing Point in 2021. After having Lawrence Stroll's daddy money, the team pushed its marketing and, all of a sudden, its fans were everywhere. But in the middle of the hype, Aston seemed to forget one small detail: investing in actual engineering. They prefer copying the formula from others and often fail miserably at it. But unlike Ferrari fans who moped around because of their team's failures, or McLaren fans who are optimistic for their team's wins, Aston Martin fans are concerned with gossip. They don't bother why their team is not performing, or why their car failed in the middle of the race. They just keep their eyes on Fernando Alonso and ears alert about any rumor or gossip about Stroll's money. Fernando Alonso's fans have been hanging with this team since he was making Michael Schumacher sweat in 2005. Their life revolves around waking up, opening the Instagram of Fernando Alonso to like and comment on his recent posts, checking out some Alonso memes on social media, laughing at them, and then sleeping. They now and then get angry at Aston Martin's inability to provide a quality car to Alonso, especially when he fails to provide any extraordinary race performance. But right now, they have transformed into hopeful Aston Martin fans, rallying behind the team that brought in Adrian Newey to finally build an exceptional racing car for their beloved Alonso. Along with these fans, there are Lance Stroll apologists in the Aston Martin fan base. They are usually found defending Lance on social media with phrases like, "But he outperformed Vettel in Turkey 2020," and "He just needs a car that suits his style." They treat him like an underappreciated prince who just needs one more season. Don't get it wrong, Lance fans might be right about his skills. Williams fans? in the 1980s. Every British and many non-British households followed the same ritual. Dads would sneak into their sons' rooms so their wives wouldn't hear, just to watch Formula One together. As they watched, the fathers would ramble on about Frank and Patrick's vision, cheering Alan Jones as he clinched the championship. They'd keep whispering about F1 until Mom woke up and cut their time short. Young kids, clueless about what was happening, simply went along for the ride and started loving Williams just like their dads. As time passed, those same kids grew up and began watching Senna, Sir Frank, and Hill with their friends, turning them into Williams fans too. Fast forward to 2020. Those once wide-eyed boys are now dads themselves, watching F1 races on DVDs and introducing their children to the golden era of Williams, a time when the team claimed 9 Constructors' Championships. Thanks to their grandparents' obsession with Sir Frank and their father's passion for Senna and the Williams legacy, this new generation is also falling in love with a team that has long since said goodbye to its glory days. Sadly, the fall from grace wasn't gradual. It was a cliff dive without a parachute. From title contenders in the early 2000s, Williams plunged into midfield limbo, then slipped further into backmarker irrelevance. The 2019-20 season was especially brutal, qualifying dead last most weekends and often finishing races multiple laps behind. But Williams fans? They stayed. They held the line like brave warriors in a hopeless siege. Every P17 finish was met with a tired smile and a hopeful, well, at least we beat Haas. They are the true romantics of Formula One who are loyal, nostalgic, a little sad, but always hopeful. They are so nostalgic that they could quote 1996 stats better than their Wi-Fi password. Maybe it's their hope and patience paying off, because Williams is finally showing signs of revival. Fans have gotten a much-needed injection of optimism thanks to Alex Albon, who has emerged as a solid, dependable talent. Fans adore him like a bright, sarcastic nephew who finally started doing well in school. Dragging a barely functional car of Williams into Q3 is one of his greatest achievements, and in true Williams fashion, the fans absolutely love him for it. Because when you have been at the bottom for so long, small victories feel like championships. Alpine fans. Alpine F1 fans are the unsung heroes of heartbreak, the defenders of French engineering, and perhaps the only people on Earth who can explain Renault's exit and rebranding strategy without crying. Or at least while crying, in French. They are with Alpine for 2 main reasons. They are French, or they are still living the golden Renault era when Fernando Alonso won 2 world championships and Alpine cars were a spectacle on the grid. By the way, Alpine has a non-French fan base too who are clinging to the dream of seeing the Renault golden era return. They root for its drivers and love to see any remarkable performance from this underdog team, but to be honest, these fans are quite delusional, especially after knowing the fact that Alpine changes their entire team after every 15 seconds in a season. Just when its fans start to root for any driver, they will say goodbye to it and introduce another. It seems like their current strategy is to surprise everyone by surviving a season with their terrible cars and strategy. An Alpine fan gets excited after every qualifying session, full of hope, optimism, and maybe even a little delusion. But the moment the race starts, reality hits hard. That's when Alpine's cars reveal their true colors. They are so much worse that drivers like Max Verstappen or Alex Albon would rather walk the entire race distance than drive one of them. Mercedes. There was a time when Mercedes fans were just like today's Red Bull fans. They used to bathe in champagne, sip espresso in silver hats, and call every 1-2 finish another solid Sunday. The winning rate was 100%, and they loved to gloat about it any chance they could. Their cars were their favorite, and their hybrid engine was so dominant it made every other team look like a go-kart rental shop. They enjoyed the era from 2014 to 2020 when they were untouchable. 7 straight Constructors' Championships and 6 Driver Championships for Lewis Hamilton were casual wins for them. But this entitled fan base became 0 in 2022, when the W13 looked like a spaceship designed by IKEA and handled like a shopping cart with a loose wheel. The memes shifted from bow down to Toto to why does our car bounce like a toddler on a trampoline? Mercedes fans tried to be optimistic, but by 2023, they were asking existential questions like, is this the same team that built the W11? Or is this just Williams with better lighting? But they are still here, clinging to the hope that Toto Wolff would succeed in competing with Red Bull in this lifetime. Not only this, they love George Russell and his accidental habit of saying things that sound very British and overly corporate. They don't care how crazy or controversial they sound, but they are willing to fully forgive him for crashing into Lewis in Qatar 2023. But Mercedes fanbase has a chaotic sub-faction known as Team LH. They are supporting Mercedes just because they love Lewis Hamilton and will remain loyal to him no matter what. This fanbase has two types of fans. One is chill, who loves to hang out with others and celebrates Lewis Hamilton's wins and failures with a smile. But the second type of fan is the one that is a constant headache for everyone in the F1 world. They are known as mentally ill people who spend their nights binge-watching every Lewis Hamilton game and spend their mornings sending threatening emails to Max Verstappen and Carlos Sainz. They love to talk about Lewis's 7 world championships in every social gathering and took to social media to storm whenever Lewis Hamilton faced any inconvenience on the grid. Haas. Americans once Googled a US-based F1 team, watched 1 or 2 races of Haas, and instantly regretted it. But the damage was done. Patriotism kicked in, and now they are stuck being Haas fans for the sake of supporting their country. But don't get it wrong, Haas fans are the true underdogs of the F1 circus. They are humble, loyal, and fully committed to the chaos. They steer clear of controversial F1 drama and have somehow made peace with watching their team implode every other weekend. You can get the idea of their loyalty with the fact that Gunther Steiner, the patron saint of F1 memes, once joked that Haas fans have exceptional loyalty genes. Translation of it? They know deep pain. They have given Haas a place in their hearts, even though it is a cursed startup in a billion-dollar sport. It is overdramatic, never getting to grips, and somehow still alive. These fans know how to turn every disaster into a meme and laugh when someone mentions Haas's curse. But let's be real, Season 2 of Drive to Survive created a modern Haas fan. The moment they saw team boss Gunther Steiner yelling, "We look like feffing wankers," or a team principal that swears more than he strategizes, they fell in love with this chaotic sitcom. Fast forward to 2025, they are rooting for Oliver and Esteban as they are childish, give high school boy vibes, and have one of the best bromances in Formula 1. Their bonding, memes, and antics are creating new Haas fans. Sauber fans. Sauber fans are F1 introverts who are not that prone to turn into memes, but not as fast to get excited. They embrace midfield miracles like it's a golden championship, and proudly call themselves the team underdog. They are stuck around through the BMW era, the Alfa Romeo marketing era, and now the pre-Audi era. Some of them saw a meme of Valtteri Bottas in a mullet with a kick sponsor and stayed for the aesthetic confusion. They don't care about their position, but about the aesthetics that their cars add to the grid. They have had that slick, black and white Alfa Romeo look, pink and blue throwbacks, the iconic BMW white and navy combo, or even weird one-off liveries that still somehow slay. Currently, the team is in the awkward teenage phase before becoming Audi in 2026. It's like watching your quiet friend get recruited by Apple and start wearing suits to class. But it is enough to give Sauber fans hope that Audi will change their fate and they might get into the top 10 by any miracle. Unlike, say, Ferrari or Red Bull stands who thrive on gossip and politics, Sauber fans are engine nerds. One of them has a Hinwil factory blueprint as their phone wallpaper. These fans are rare, in fact so rare that you might have hardly met any in your life. So, if you ever find one, buy them a treat as they deserve it. Visa Cash App Racing Bulls. The Visa Cash App RBF1 team. Or as many fans lovingly call them, Red Bull Jr., Toro Rosso 2.0. Or simply, the team formerly known as AlphaTauri, formerly known as Toro Rosso, formerly known as, wait, who are we again? And their fanbase? The hipster squad of Formula 1. They are known to cheer the iconic drivers even before the world knows their names. They were the first fans of Max Verstappen, they were with Sebastian Vettel in 2008, and they still miss Pierre Gasly and Daniel Kvyat. Pretend they have moved on. They accuse Red Bull of snatching every one of their best drivers. That is why they are an eclectic mix of Red Bull spillover, fashionistas, meme lords, and confused Americans trying to figure out if this is a crypto scam or a racing team. Most of their new fans come after seeing Yuki Tsunoda eating 5 bowls of ramen in a team vlog and listening to his radio messages. That was enough for them, but once Yuki leaves, all eyes shift to Isak Hadjar, who has been performing impressively in the 2025 season. Still, judging by Red Bull Jr.'s current state, chances are slim that Isak will want any promotion within this circus anytime soon. So, from which fanbase do you belong? Don't forget to share it in the comments section and hit the subscribe button for more Formula 1 drama.